Account of Charlie Blake, aspiring actor. Filming Doctor Who, The Invasion, 1968. When my agent rang to say I'd landed a part as an extra on Doctor Who, I nearly dropped the phone. I was 21, fresh out of drama school, and desperate for any screen work. Sure, I wouldn't have any lines, I was just playing a background Cyberman, but it was Doctor Who. The series was huge, and Patrick Troughton was the face of it. I couldn't believe I'd get to be part of something so iconic. The shoot was taking place at various locations around London, and my first day was on a cold, grey morning near St. Paul's Cathedral. This was for one of the big scenes where the Cybermen are seen marching through London. There were about a dozen of us extras cast as Cybermen, and when I saw the costume for the first time, I thought, how am I going to breathe in that thing? The Cyberman outfit was no joke. It was made of heavy metallic-looking material that didn't flex much when you moved, and the helmet was tight, with just a narrow slit for vision. They had to stuff padding into the feet of the costume to make us look taller, and every step felt like I was wading through wet cement. Worse, the tubing on the chest piece constantly got caught on things, including other Cybermen, so we had to move carefully. Wardrobe and makeup took ages, fussing over every detail to make sure we looked menacing enough. I kept thinking, I'm supposed to look like a terrifying alien robot, but I feel like I'm wrapped in a baked potato. When Patrick Troughton arrived on set, the mood lightened immediately. He was brilliant, friendly, funny, and full of energy. Despite being the star of the show, he treated everyone, from the director to the lowliest extra like me, with respect. Between takes, he joked with the crew and kept us all laughing. How do you Cybermen manage to see anything in those helmets? He asked us at one point, chuckling. I'd walk straight into a wall. The big moment came when we were all assembled for the iconic march down the steps of St. Paul's. The director, Douglas Camfield, was a stickler for precision. You're Cybermen, not lost tourist. He barked at us, demanding perfect synchronization. It took a while to get it right. Marching in those costumes was like walking in a sauna, and the weight of the helmet made my neck ache. But the shot itself felt epic, dozens of us descending the steps, with the cathedral looming behind us. Even with my limited vision, I could sense how dramatic it looked. We had to do several takes, and each time, we'd trudge back to the top of the steps, sweating buckets, to reset. At one point, one of the other Cybermen tripped over his own feet and toppled forward, taking down two others with him. It was like watching dominoes in slow motion. The crew couldn't stop laughing, and even Patrick joined in, saying, looks like they've upgraded to the clumsy model this time. The studio scenes were just as memorable, even though we spent most of the time standing around in the background while the Doctor worked his magic. The TARDIS set was much smaller than I'd imagined, with cameras and lights crammed into every available space. I remember one scene where Patrick had to deliver a long speech about the Cybermen's plans, and he kept stumbling over the word cybernetic. After the third take, he threw up his hands and said, maybe the Cybermen should just stick to simpler words, eh? Everyone laughed, and the tension disappeared. The Cybermen voices were dubbed in during post-production, so on set, we just moved silently, following the choreography the director gave us. It felt a bit odd, waving our arms menacingly without making any sound, but seeing the finished episodes later, I realized how effective it was. The modulated, mechanical voices made us seem genuinely alien. On my final day of filming, Patrick came over to thank all of us for our work. You lot are what make this show, he said, shaking hands with as many extras as he could. Without you, it's just me talking to a blue box. That small gesture meant the world to me. When the serial aired later that year, I watched it with my flatmates, pointing out every moment where I thought I could spot myself. That's me, third from the left. I'd say, even though all the Cybermen looked exactly the same. Still, I was part of something special, a tiny cog in the machine that brought Doctor Who to life. Working on Doctor Who taught me a lot about the magic of television, the sweat, the patience, and the teamwork behind every scene. I didn't go on to become a famous actor, but I'll always have that memory of marching down the steps of St. Paul's Cathedral in a Cyberman costume, feeling like I was part of something truly unforgettable.